This episode of Nothing But Raiders podcast is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 platform to browse, discover, and experience the best events in town, and all in the palm of your hand. From heart-pounding concerts that can make you dance to nail-biting sports games that can keep you on the edge of your seat, SeatGeek has it all. From exclusive deals and personalized recommendations tailored just for you. Use our promo code SRT and get $20 off your first purchase. So join the movement. SeatGeek. Get up, get out, and get tickets.
I didn't care as much about being respected as I cared from the standpoint of winning about being feared and being imitated. And then respect could come after that. I didn't care as much about being respected as I cared from the standpoint of winning about being feared and being imitated. And then respect could come after that.
Fire. That's how you get in. That's how you start it. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I've been working on behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Nothing But Raiders podcast. We are in the goddamn building.
That's how you come in.
Mad at this one. They gonna be mad at this one, and I do not care. People gonna be mad at this one. But y'all know
It wouldn't be hot.
Y'all know, the Number One Podcast YouTube channel already know who I am. Y'all already know how I get down. Y'all already know who I am. But before we get into anything, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe to all the channels that's live on Shakeback Media Group, on Raidernation Hotpsot. Y'all know what it is. My boy Rodney from All Aboard A Raiders, he's on the plane back to Pennsylvania. He couldn't be on with us tonight, but it's okay. It's all right. We got a lot to talk about. Training camp, unofficial depth charts, so much to talk about. But how y'all feeling tonight, fellas? How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good. That the intro got me feeling like I came to the club. So let's go.
I gotta find the right beats for the right, Raiders intro. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, man, do y'all remember when Marshawn Lynch first came to the Raiders the second year, and we had just beaten the Jets to go 2-0, and he was on the sideline doing his dreads like that? That's what I felt like when I heard that right there, partner.
Facts. But Raidernation Hotspot, man, how are you, brother? I mean, you was on the Daily House Sports Show yesterday. It was pretty fun. But now it's all Raiders now. What's good?
Now we in my wheelhouse. Yesterday was fun. But this is about to get serious because there's some stuff happening out there, boy. People real serious about thinking they know stuff they don't know. But it's all good though. That's how it always is.
But shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to A Train. Matter of fact, shout out to John Parker, 24, Daniel Barry's Sports Highlights, John Raider, A Train, Lone Star Fox. Shout out to y'all, man, that's actually in the building. I appreciate y'all coming through. And we're going to keep this thing rocking. But before we get into anything, for the people that don't know me on other channels, people know me by Darian, people know me by Spotlight. But, you know, I'm the person that runs Nothing But Raider podcast, the behind the scenes stuff. But, you know, these fellas here, you know, they hit me up because I was like, especially Raidernation Hotspot. He sent me a whole email about not doing this anymore because I really was not about to do this anymore. I really was. I just wanted to be a fan and have fun with it. But for people who don't know me, you know, I'm here. I'm back. Thanks to these guys. Thanks to these fellas. We should have Black coming on soon. I did send him the link and stuff of that nature. Hopefully he could be on as soon as possible. But y'all know who I am. Anybody else want to go before we get into these topics, man?
Youth before age.
Oh,
Youth
man.
before age. Okay.
I don't even know if that's all true, but
I don't even know what that means, but I mean, I'm letting you know now. I'm 38. I don't look it, but I'm 38.
That's why you went first.
Okay, but see, I'm 44. I got 2 4s, and you line them up.
And that's why you're going second.
Oh, okay.
Damn,
Black
man.
Crap. Really, bro? Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going second. Raidernation Hotspot. You know, all the hot shots know who I am. You see me all the time on my own channel. Got some crazy, you know, stuff that we talk about. You know, over there we get long form and really get into the depth of what the Raiders are about. We have some fun, and we hang out. You know, you probably see me in the Raider D podcast and hanging out in Western Conference, and yeah, we also write. So that's why I wrote him a really long letter, because that's what I do. So a lot of writing. You can check out the newsletter, Black Rain Official, and get some. When you get your daily reading in, right? So yeah, check it out. And that's all I got.
Ain't no more. Go ahead, Willie. Come on.
All right, man. I'm a rolling.
Get a whole rundown.
I'm a roll in here, like, you know what I'm saying. I just rolled out of bed and I had to put some Bengay on because I am the self-proclaimed OG of the group. I have been a Raider fan for longer than these dudes have been alive, and that's just what that is. I am the president. I am the CEO and creator of the Shakeback Media Group. Got a lot of exciting things. Me and Darian, man, look, we started this thing a while back on another show that we're going to bring back. Right, Darian? Shake your head like this.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to have that show coming back real soon. Shout out to everybody in the chat, Raider Nation. Even the Raider haters out there. Y'all welcome too, because we like trolling. Well, me in particular, I love trolling Cowboy fans because I'm in Dallas. So y'all already know what it is.
Say no more. Say no more.
Yeah, you have to. That's
Say
the
no
most
more.
myopic.
That's kind of how I feel about Philadelphia. I like trolling Philadelphia Eagles fans. I love doing it.
Yeah.
You know, that's just I love trolling them. I love saying, like, you know, they talk about, oh, we haven't won a championship since '84. So what? Y'all haven't. I got your first championship in franchise history. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
With me and Charger fans, all 12 of them.
Hey, yo, hey, fellas, we got people chiming in on Twitter. You can't really see it on here, but people are chiming in on Twitter. I got people texting me that got cousins out there in the Bay right now. They checking us out. Thank you guys out there for checking us out, man, out there in the Bay. So,
What's up?
Look at this Chiefs Kingdom person right here. Yeah, I got people still in the town, bro. And as a matter of fact, I'm coming to the town.
This is the thing. Why these Chiefs fans? They always come to our streams.
Wait. No. Let's be cool. She is going. Regina. I just linked up with Regina. She is going to be on one of our projects on the Shakeback Media Group. It's called A Show Showing Up Divided. So yeah, let's be.
I know who she is. She was on there before, right?
No. She's new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I gotta have you guys on for that too because it gets real lit on there.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. What's up to my boy Raider Ryan?
Shout out to Raider Ryan. Shout out to the Raider D podcast as well. Shout out to him. You know, he wants me to come on his show. I think it's tomorrow, but I'm not too sure. I gotta check up with him and that. But shout out to Raider D podcast. He definitely wanted me to come on his show. Shout out to Raider Ryan. Shout out to all y'all that's in the chat. We really do appreciate y'all. But let's get down to the nitty gritty. Not for the intros, man. Training camp has started. A lot of news has come out. Defense is doing this. Defense is doing that. Quarterbacks is doing this. Quarterbacks is doing that. What are y'all thoughts so far on training camp? Because I mean, I got the day 10 reports with the rookies. You know, with Jack Jones getting 2 interceptions. I mean, 2 interceptions, and Trayvon Merritt getting 3 interceptions defensively. Max Crosby sacking Gardner Minshew, even though that he has on a red shirt. It doesn't matter. What are y'all thoughts on this, man? Because it's getting really spooky out here in these Raiders streets, especially when it comes to the quarterback position.
Always youth before age.
Oh man. All right. So I'm gonna start.
Do y'all want to? I mean, I'm the youngest. I can go.
Yes, hit it. You know what? That's right. You go. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, enough said. So I heard this from. I know y'all know JT the Brick, right? I know y'all know JT the Brick. So he put out something about the quarterbacks today, right? And it kind of got me thinking, what's going on with these quarterbacks? And this is what he had to say. And I had to download it to my phone, but this is what he had to say.
Today, as we open up the show, is this is now go time for the quarterbacks. And the quarterbacks have not taken advantage of that opportunity. Period. They just haven't been able to do that. I've always thought that Aiden O'Connell would probably win this job. I no longer think that. Not saying he's going to lose the job. I'm not going to tell you exactly today, as we sit here, what's today, August 6th, and tell you who's going to be the starting quarterback. But I think Gardner Minshew has the edge. I think most of the insiders believe that Gardner Minshew has the edge for this opportunity. And if you look at the schedule, opening up against Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, and then playing the Baltimore defense, I think you want a mobile quarterback with experience in those first 2 games. I always thought that Aiden O'Connell would be it. He'd earn the position. He'd earn the starting position. He'd open up. And if he went 1-1, he'd keep the job. If he went 0-2, he'd lose the job. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. That's up to Antonio Pierce, Luke Getzey, Tom Telesco, especially. But I'm starting to sense that Gardner Minshew might be the player after what I saw at extensive practice here in camp. To just give the veterans a little bit more mobile, the opportunity, more 1 snaps overall, so he's up and ready to go.
And that was on JT's The Brick YouTube channel today while he was at training camp. Raidernation Hotspot, what are your thoughts on this?
My first thought is that with kind of our offensive line still in flux, I guess it's not that surprising. Minshew is the guy if you are having issues where you're not able to block everything up perfectly. Because he's of his mobility, he also has the ability to play off script and enough experience doing that you can trust him to get good results. Plays like that. So not surprising. I think if Colton Miller was back and everybody was plugged in and, there was more time, because it sounds like there's not a lot of time back there right now. It might be different, but we have to play the person that fits the team that we have right now. And Colton Miller is not there. So it's interesting, but I guess not too surprising based on personnel. Yeah, That's how I feel.
What's your thoughts on this, Shay Back? What's your thoughts on this, Willie?
Man, look, I don't have a problem with Gardner Minshew leading the charge, okay, because of everything that that JT, the bigger figure, or I'm just joking, JT said about him. Let's remember something about Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is he can sling it. He can sling it. You don't become one of the finalists for the Davey O'Brien Trophy in college by not being able to throw the football. Now, does he have the cannon of an arm that we would like? No, but I think we are so much better off in this position to have these two guys as opposed to having Aiden and Jimmy Garoppolo. So if Gardner is one hair length above in this race, it would not kill me simply because he can win us some games. He can actually win us a lot of games. And of course, the defense that we'll get to at some point during the show, I'm sure, is going to have a lot to say in that. But I think Aiden has looked better this time around so far than he did. But I'll tell you guys this, man. If Gardner Minshew can just come in and be Gardner the mustache and essentially manage the game to a degree to where he ain't got to be the one that the game is on his shoulders like it was in Indianapolis, we could win some games, y'all. We can win some games.
Now, according to, Leo, because Leo was in, shout out to my boy Cheeto Liners. He definitely have a YouTube channel. Shout out to him. I really do appreciate it. He has the Pearl Raiders podcast. Shout out to him. He said, according to him, when he was he went to the Raiders camp. He said neither one of these guys was leading the team, and he was there yesterday. And he did state that the O-line looked holding their own against the D-line in practice. Glaze, Mumford, and Whitehair, they look good. Overall, when it comes to hearing that Trayvon Merrick, not a person that gets turnovers a lot on his defense.
He can't catch.
And the fact that he has 3 interceptions in practice on 2 of these quarterbacks, that is a problem for me. That is a problem for me because he drops interceptions when it matters. And when it comes to Jack Jones, he intercepted a screen from what I've heard. Yes, that's fine. We've seen him intercept screens against the Chargers many of times, so we've seen that. But my problem is with these quarterbacks is this. It's not even from it's not the quarterbacks for me. My issue has always been this offseason. What type of offensive coordinator that we're going to have in Luke Getsy? Because every time we heard Devontae Adams say great things about him in Green Bay, but ever since he left Green Bay, he has not had success as an offensive coordinator, as a good play caller. So I understand that coaches coach and players have to execute in some ways, but the fact that it's neck and neck right now. And me personally, I think Gardner Minshew should be a little bit higher than Aiden O'Connell, just from what I know from Gardner Minshew and how Gardner Minshew can win games in this league. It shouldn't be that close. That's just from what I'm hearing. Just from what I'm hearing, I'm not seeing because I can't see. I wasn't at the training camp, but from what I'm hearing, it feel like it's neck and neck, and nobody knows who's going to be the starting quarterback start week 1, and that's going to be an issue for me. Quarterback's always been an issue with us when it comes to the Raidernation anyway, but I know you had to say something, Hotspot.
No, you were on a rant. I understand.
No, it's not a rant. It's just that from what I hear and what I see.
Totally. You said Getsy and his offense. I did a deep dive on the offense. You can check it out on the channel, but Getsy had Justin Fields as the quarterback there.
He doesn't like Justin Fields, y'all.
So
I'm not going to have this conversation again. We're not going to go that route again from yesterday.
Sorry, man. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, if you were to look at the tape of the games,
it's not even the tape I looked at tape from a quarterback standpoint, but I look at it from a formation standpoint. I look at it from a third down
people
standpoint.
are open and you don't see any of them.
But it's certain,
They were still open. It's not like a tree that falls in the forest.
Yeah, but that's only one play that we're talking about. But from what I'm seeing on tape, like it's even NFL analysts that said, "What the hell is Luke Getsy doing in this formation on this down?" Like, that's questions that I have. Like, when you have former NFL coaches that actually coach on the offensive side saying that about Luke Getsy, that's the issue.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of questions you can have about coordinator's formation on this down or that, why, but you can't expect to have a cohesive offense that makes any sense if you don't have a competent person pulling the trigger. That's all. It is that bad. So, it's hard for me to even make any sort of judgments there. I do know that he was like literally pulling plays out of his college playbook and seeing if said quarterback could try that, and maybe that would work because nothing else would.
But do you think that has something to do with the head coach as well agreeing to allow that to happen as well? So it wasn't just
they have a bad head coach also.
Yeah, it was a bad head coach as well. But
what about their offensive line wasn't that great either?
No, it was not, and they didn't have great skill position players either. But
Well,
I mean, we just have to wait and see when it comes to these quarterbacks. We knew that this was going to be a quarterback challenge for Connell to win the job, and Gardner Minshew gets the starting job. Knowing that Gardner Minshew is more of a number 2 quarterback in the NFL more than a number 1, but when he does get his opportunity, he does make the best of it. So hopefully, one of these two guys get it done. And from what I'm hearing, which we will talk about the depth chart in a little bit, or who's going to be the starting quarterback for week 1 of the preseason against the Minnesota Vikings. I know, Hotspot, I know you had some topics as well that you wanted to get around, so I'm gonna just hand it over to you because that was my first topic of the day.
Nice. Well, I think talking about starting, it was announced I think today that DJ Glaze is going to continue to start over at right tackle, which is a development that I think I want to get everybody's opinion on that. I'm kind of stoked that he's in a position to be starting as a rookie, especially seeing as we got him later on. He was my 5th rated tackle, so I like the pick. So it's good to see that he's already out there excelling and putting us in a position where maybe we have more depth at tackle than we thought, especially if because I know Munford's not, he's a starting level tackle himself. So this is interesting. That's how I feel about it. What do you think, Willie?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, coaching is the quote unquote anchor. The offensive line. If we can open holes like we did in 2022. 2022 when Josh Jacobs won the rushing title, and this group appears to be able to do that, then I think this whole talk about the quarterback situation, we won't be looking at it with nearly as much anticipated fear, because what's the best friend of a quarterback?
A run game.
The offensive line.
A run game and quality tight ends. And the tight ends, I think we have with Mayer and with Brock. So the offensive line, and then those guys, particularly Brock, we know Brock is a great blocker as well as a great pass catcher. So that's like your 6th or 7th offensive line on any running play when you have the power package in there. So I feel it, man. I feel it.
Yeah. In that the Green Bay type offense that we're running, Getsy's implementing, you're going to see him lead blocking through holes, pulling, and he's a very good move blocker. Getting to the second level, DBs and just they make a business decision, man. Like that's a big dude, and he's coming real fast. And then Mayor's like literally just like another tackle. When he stays in the block, I mean, he can take on a defensive end by himself sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like DJ Glaze and Thayer Munther in his offensive line, and from a little bit of footage I saw on Twitter and from what I've heard, that DJ Glaze is doing so very well on the offensive line right now, which I think for the last couple of years that has been the lack of depth for us. Honestly, when it comes to like, we once our starters is out, the rest is history. It's like it's the next man up at this point. I want to look at in this year, and I want to have Antonio Pearson his offensive coaching staff on the offensive side to really evaluate these offensive linemen, because over the past years, if Colton Miller go down, if Dylan Parham went down, or somebody else went down, we're like, who the hell is next up? And I feel like hearing DJ Glaze get that. DJ Glaze is from Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. He was drafted out from Maryland, right?
Yes, he was.
Yes. So he was drafted out. He was drafted out of Maryland, and from the tape that I watched when he played at Maryland, he was good. He was a good run blocker, okay at pass blocking, but hopefully that can be coached up.
Yeah, no, he had, I think Maryland threw the ball a lot. I think he had 680 or something pass attempts that he blocked on. Yeah. I think he gave up 5 sacks or 5 pressure, quarterback hits and sacks. It was literally him and JPJ had the same amount of snaps, right? So Oregon threw the ball a lot, so you can see Maryland did too. And he only gave up 5 more pressures than JPJ, who gave up none, 0. I'll say it again, 0.
So to extra on the panel, outside of DJ Glaze, who is the other offensive lineman that you are impressed with in training camp right now outside of him? And I just want to go around the horn. But Black, what's good, brother? I know you've been doing your thing with your backgrounds and stuff like that. But what's good with you?
What's good with Brody? What's up with the fam?
None. We here. We finally made it, man.
It's all good. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir. V-Town. What's up with it?
All right. So y'all getting it cranked up. See, like this is the time of year where I don't wake up until about the 3rd preseason game,
which is the same as the last one.
So I'm learning a lot from you guys right now. I'm just getting back in the groove and see what we're gonna do, because I'm still trying to figure out what we're gonna do on the offensive side of the ball. So it's good to hear you guys talking about the O-line, because that's a good place to start.
Yeah, well, I mean, the good place to actually start was at the quarterback position, but you missed that whole segment. So we went strictly. You missed that whole segment.
Damn, I didn't get to talk about Bronson Minshew or Minshew Pinshew or what's his name, Gardner Minshew.
Listen, you want to talk about
he does miss you.
The floor.
You missed him.
Okay, well, I'll reserve my comments until about week 3 in the preseason.
But
I will say one more thing about the quarterback thing. I came into this thinking it was a lot more even than people were making it out to be, and it is a lot more even than people were making it out to be. Gardner Minshew is better than I think a lot of people thought on one side, and I think that AOC is a lot better than some other people thought on the other side. Let's let the coaches decide this. They'll do their job. Mm-hmm. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Man, if you put both of them together and they played at the same time, we still gonna go away.
You making a record prediction already?
No. We can't do that. We can't do that right now.
It out there.
Come on, man.
We can do that. We can go game by game. Let's go.
Right.
I'm not ready to do that just yet. I have to wait until at least the preseason is over to make my record prediction.
Yeah, we got to make sure that we don't get Devontae injured and he don't. I don't know if y'all saw Receiver or not on Netflix, but we got to make sure that Devontae stay cool and that he don't lose his life.
Man, you can't take that seriously. That's Chiefs propaganda.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. executive producer Patrick Mahomes. Yeah,
wow.
No.
I mean, he kind of looked at frustrated. I'm sorry, he kind of looked frustrated on that side.
Man, if you cut up
when you play with Josh
part of me,
McDumbass, that kind of makes sense. Then
I would be frustrated too. Yeah, and
when you playing with Josh McDumbass, I mean,
Floaty McFloatums at quarterback with a noodle arm, of course,
bruh. The way that dude was throwing that helmet on the ground, bro, that was real.
Of course, yeah, he was pissed, and then things changed. We got a new coach, got rid of McNoodle arm, and it's different now. But back there's a reason they concentrated on that game and didn't show any of the Chiefs games.
We're right. Well, I didn't get through the whole. I haven't gotten through it all yet, but I can feel that though.
Why would they didn't show no Chiefs games at all?
Because Patrick Mahomes is the executive producer. That's why.
Coincidence? I think not.
But back to the question at hand, though. But outside of like not seeing Colton Miller out there as of right now, we're not seeing what's his name, JPP Jackson.
Yeah,
Jackson something power. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting his name. But outside of not seeing them and seeing TJ Glade, you see a Mumford. Who else is impressing you in camp right now, like that you've been hearing about?
I guess you keep hearing about Pete and Whitehair and how they have just been extra professional and effective all the time, which is a really good thing to hear when you have two very young guards that you may be relying on in Parham, who's switching over to his more natural right guard position. And then, we're hoping that, JPJ can come in and start or at least play some significant snaps. So having those two be able to be good veterans, looks like they're at least, doing the job well enough against what is a very, very good defensive line that has depth. So they're being tested. That I think I'm going to say two people. I'm going to cheat and say Pete and Whitehair. So that's where I'm at.
A-Train, just to let you know, every time that I say his name, I always fuck it up. Excuse my language. I always mess it up. I say it backwards, and then I'll be like, oh, damn, I said it the wrong. So I just be like, just give me some initials for him at this point. I didn't forget it. It's just that I just get the name jacked up. Like I'll be thinking of Jason Pierre Paul, like JPP. I think of it like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. And then, I kind of been out the loop with a lot of stuff. I've been trying to really get back into the Raiders pressers and stuff of that nature, since I really can't be at the training camps or see like footage or nothing. So I try to get every information that I can during training camp, and I usually get involved more around this time anyway. Really, is anybody else outside of what Raidernation Hotspot said as far as offensive lines go?
Nah, I think what I'm looking forward to is when all five of these guys are healthy and are able to gel. I know, Darian, you have some issues with Andre James. You think his arm's too short to be a center, yada yada yada. But
he's a turtle.
He's a what?
He's a turtle.
He's a But I think for me, man, that I'm looking forward to seeing all these five guys, and I ain't talking about the hamburger place. I'm looking forward to these guys working together and getting some continuity, because if everything that we're hearing about these guys individually holds water, and then at that point when it's time for us to come together collectively as a unit, it's gonna be something that we can anticipate with some positivity in what we can see going forward when the season starts.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I say about Andre James, because as much as film that I watched on him last year and how his little ass got blown up by bigger defensive tackles every single snap, they just been getting pushed to the back. That's why I call him that, because his little arms he's just not athletic enough for me to be a center for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's just not gritty enough for me. That's just from what I've seen on film. I'm not a big fan of Andre James. I have not, and I never will be until proven different.
Hey, I heard something the other day that's affiliated with the Raiders that I hadn't heard in like 3 years.
What's that?
Combo blocks.
Magic.
Something that can happen with Andre James instead of him getting blown up on one-on-ones each time. That could help him out a lot.
Players have strengths and weaknesses. Typically, he's not.
And what strength does Andre James have?
Let's see, calling the line properly on all the adjustments.
I don't care about that.
Getting to the second level, pulling, moving, right? Trap blocking. Like he excels in these things. There are plenty of centers who cannot call protections properly and have to be. He is the reason why we can start a rookie that doesn't know anything, because he's actually able to do all of that. He was doing that for Carr too. Anyway, he makes those calls. He also is a great move blocker. He gets to the second level. This system's going to fit him better because they're going to actually move and get to the outside, pull. A lot of what McDumbass, Joshy Boy was just like, we're gonna power run it and we're gonna do it no matter what, because that's what I like. And it's just it wasn't fitting for half the line. So does he get blown up by Chris Jones? Yes. But does everyone get blown up by Chris Jones? Yes. So that's how I feel about Andre James. He's a good player.
I got a question. Where's Josh McDaniels right now?
I don't know.
He's
what college did he go to? Like Liberty Fordham State or something? I don't know. He's probably like
he's sitting home with his kids. I don't care where he's
at.
I
can tell you where he's not. Let me put it that way.
He's not in my house because I'd be beating this. I'm sorry. We'll be fighting.
Black, what's your thoughts on the offensive line, brother?
Week 3, y'all. Week 3. Hey, but what because this is my thing, because I don't really know who really getting down. But what I do know is a couple years ago they was talking bad about Colton. Now he's the topic of discussion.
Thank you.
Whoever they decide to bring in, I just hope they mature into, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't even know who out there right now. Like I really don't. I just started my training camp today by watching Antonio Pierce and the pivot. So we start there.
Okay, he back. It's like you in a different time.
Ooh, you in a different time zone, brother.
Yeah, it's fine. Ooh.
He said the pivot. You see that jersey though?
Well, that's a pivot. What was it? That his last
fire too.
That jacket there, yeah, that was fire.
Yeah, because I saw somebody, because I never saw it. Like, I never saw it. So I was like, well, I know we got the coach, right? I know our defense is cool. They mediocre. They cool. I don't want to put too much on them yet, but they cool. And it's up to our offense. So our O-line ain't really been the problem the last couple of years like that. That ain't really been our issue like that. So I'm not really tripping on them. So I'm just keep looking at Colton. I'm liking what I see out of him. But like I said, I'm not even tapped in like that because I'm not. I'm getting there.
Yeah, the only thing I can actually say about the offensive line from last year, I think that, running the football was kind of like our main issue with the offensive line. We did have some good runs. We did, last year. I think protection wise, it was more like pass protection. It was more on the quarterback holding the ball a little bit too long. Garoppolo a few times. Garoppolo definitely was the one that held the ball too, but it was just a lot of lack of communication on the offensive line as well when it comes to like adjusting or come to like so many rotational players coming in, and it was just like you throw Thayer Munther in there for like 2 plays, then you take them right back out and then put 2 other people in there. It was too much rotation during the game, So I wouldn't say it wasn't that bad last year, but you did see some hiccups in the offensive line last year.
Well, it was a definite.
Consider, what would you grade our O-line last year? All things considered.
A C.
I'll put it like a C or a C.
Yeah, we had to help too much, dude. We had to keep Mayer in and max protect to just a pass.
Yeah, because pass protection was not that.
Van Roten was getting Van Roten required help.
Van Roten was getting smoked.
Yeah,
but and then look at it from this standpoint too, guys. Is that the year before, right? Josh Jacobs was not getting hit at the line or behind the line nearly as much in 2022 as he was last year.
Right,
not even close. And we know that Josh Jacobs has the ability to make people miss in the backfield or whatever, but when your line is so open on either side or the other, I mean he didn't have a shot last year, especially earlier in the year. He didn't have a chance.
So the year that he won the rushing title, what was the O-line? What would you grade him that year?
As far as run block, I would have given probably
no. I'm talking about overall O-line. Even though I'm not saying that they was the best O-line in the league. I'm just asking, what grade would you give him that year?
I'll give them a B. I
would give him a B plus. Yeah.
I give him a B that year.
So we went from a B plus to a C.
Yes, because we went with a Josh McDaniels that didn't know how to combo block, that did not know how to scheme against defenses when it comes to your offensive line. Our offensive line coach, they try to run things the Patriot way, where things was just I formation, or you just go man on man and no second level or none of that nature. And it was just it didn't open up any holes. It just was not creative enough on the offensive line for our offensive line to move and pull and combo block or zone block. We just couldn't do none of that stuff under Josh McDaniels. We just
this offense is the exact opposite of that. Yeah.
And you know what one of my biggest beefs about Josh McDaniels is the fact that he was the O coordinator in New England when they had Hernandez and Gronk. You got these two all-world tight ends. You try to emulate that same thing when you get to Vegas. You have two pretty good tight ends in Mayer and in Hooper, but
from last year,
we never heard them being called in terms of being pass receivers like what we heard of. And I know Gronk and Hernandez are probably a step or two above in talent level than Hooper and Mayer was, especially with Mayer being a rookie. But the absence of even attempting to do what you made your money on in New England wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, maybe you could say blame it on the O-line that he put together and having to keep Mayer and in all the time to help block. I mean, either way, it's his fault. So yeah, I mean, it's just it was no good, not good stuff. That's why he's not here. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to actually see that kind of movement and trapping and pulling and all that good stuff coming back again. Like you said, combo blocks, guys getting the second level. So yeah.
So really, what topic you wanted to talk about? Because I know you put it in the chat as well. I wanted you to throw yours up there because I know we did talk about the offensive line a little bit longer than expected. So, what was the main thing you wanted to talk about tonight?
I want to just talk about the defense, but not really from the perspective of what we see right now, or even last year, or what we think this defense is going to project to be in 2024. How many playoff appearances have the Raiders had in the last 23 years?
From what I remember, only two?
Three.
Yeah.
Three. The first one I'm talking about, of course, is the year that we went to the Super Bowl, where Tampa Bay spanked us. That defense, actually, that defense was really, really good. I mean, I shouldn't say really good. They were better than – that was the best defense that we've had in the last 25 years. 11th in total defense, 23rd in passing, 8th in sacks, 3rd in run defense, all those great things. Led by the Woodson boys, Rod and Charles. Y'all don't even remember that. Bill Romanowski in the middle, Torrey James in the backfield, Rod Coleman. Rod Coleman was the leader in sacks that year with, I think he had either 10.5 or 11.
So then was going crazy.
Yeah. Then you fast forward to 2016, 14 years later. We remember what happened in 2016, right? Everybody and their mama was picking the Raiders and the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl in Houston that year. As a matter of fact, I remember telling people in Dallas, we will see y'all in Houston.
I never thought Dallas was making it.
Huh?
I said I was never thinking Dallas was gonna make it.
Well, that was me trolling them because I am in the area.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you feel me? So, but the Raiders
saying that though, they was really trying to match it up like that though. I do remember that.
But the Raiders, but we were so good that year, and Derek Carr was an MVP candidate, and I remember, dude, I was at church, and I got the thing across my phone, and it said Derek Carr's been knocked out of the game. They feared to have a broken leg. I started crying right then and there. Yes, at church. At church.
I guess that was the place to be.
Better than watching it. It was better than watching it, man.
But that defense, 24th in total yards, 16th on third down conversions, second in takeaways, which was big. Khalil Mack, Bruce Irvin led the charge there. So then, of course, you come to 2021. And then this is the best defense that Derek Carr has had since that 2016 season. Pretty much middle of the road all the way around. 14th, 13th, and 19th in total passing and rushing. The scoring defense was way up there. 26th in the league, 30th in takeaways. And we know how we feel about takeaways because it just got worse and worse and worse. But my thing is this, is that stacking those defenses against what we have now, is it safe to assume that we should feel better in the place that we are at now than we did with any of those three teams that I just mentioned?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you because before Josh McDaniels got fired, I don't know what Patrick Graham was doing with this defense, and I'm gonna be completely real with you.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to after post Josh McDaniels, and knowing that Antonio Pierce is a defensive guy, and he helped with Patrick Graham on that defense, you saw a difference in this defense. And now you're adding additions like Christian Wilkerson, where a guy that damn near one or 2 years in Miami led his team in sacks in Miami. Adding him with a Max Crosby and an up-and-coming Malcolm Kuntz. So you're mixing veterans. You're mixing actual veterans that's still in their prime, not out their prime. And that's what I'm starting to love about this Raiders defense, because we started to get, at one point, we was getting defensive players that was out their prime. But we're getting defensive players that's in now, that's dominating in their prime now, mixed with some younger players. You see Nate Hobbs going back to the inside in the slot. You see that where he was great at. Him outside, he was good, but we all know slot corner is where he is at. So now you're putting people in places where they know where their strengths are at, and it makes our defense more continuity. You see the same face. You don't see different faces every single year with this defense. You see Max Crosby. Now you see another year of Jacorian Bennett. Now you see another year of Jack Jones. You see consistency in the last what was it 5 or 6 weeks of the NFL season. You've seen a difference in that defense with Robert Spillane being a leader in the middle of linebacker. You've seen a little bit better from Devon Diablo. You've seen a difference when Antonio Pierce took over as the coach, as when it comes to a culture, with how he want things to be ran. He went to Patrick Graham, like, listen, change this, and this. And you see the turnover started to happen. You see the motor started to happen. You see people want to go out there and have fun. So now you're adding additions to that, plus the rookie class. I think this defense is going to be really good. I'm calling it as of right now. As of right now, we're going to be a top 15 defense, but it might grow. It will grow the more that we play. But I'm just throwing it out there. Top 15, don't know where we're at in the top 15, but I'm saying top 15.
And just to
the only reason I'm saying that because our defensive line has improved as well.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, and Darian, we talked about this on the CTE when we first launched it, 2 years ago, about how I was so upset at Patrick Graham. I'm like, think about the year after Bisaccia left. So that was 2022.
I think it was 2020, wasn't it?
No. It was 20.
It was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020 because that's when Gruden got fired from that whole blah blah blah.
Yeah,
was
so
it okay?
After
and Bisaccia took over.
And think about how many second half leads we blew that year. I mean, we very easily could have been in the playoffs. And I was calling for Patrick Graham's head on a platter. And you know what? I have to apologize to Patrick Graham. And this is what he told me. He told me this right here.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Write something about me.
So I want to apologize to Patrick Graham, but that's my spiel on the defense. This is the most excited that I have been about a Raider defense. Get this, guys. I want y'all to understand me. Since 1989.
And I just wanted to just throw this in here real quick, Willie. If you look at it from the second half of the year, the Raiders was number 1 in takeaways in the second half of the year.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say. We were the number one.
Something that the Raiders don't do, and that's takeaways.
Exactly.
We don't intercept the ball. We don't force fumbles. We don't never did none of that. And we started seeing it last year at the second half of the year. Like, what interceptions?
Yes.
What has changed?
But not only that,
Antonio
people are just running free. Yeah.
But not only that, we were turning those turnovers into points. Yeah. I mean, like the defense was scoring. That's something we haven't seen since the 80s, for real.
We also were the best under Pierce at stopping the other team from scoring, which is what defenses are supposed to do. So number 1 in scoring and number 1 in taking the ball away. And so that's over a 10-game spread. It's not a small sample size, right? So this is not just an aberration, right? And we did it against like the best offenses, Kansas City, right? So I expect us to have a top defense. And you're saying top 15. I'm saying top 10 defense. And I think we're going to turn the ball over, create turnovers. And I expect us to be a top 10 defense for real. We have talent in the places where it matters most. You hear Jacorian Bennett has taken that job in camp, which is huge. I loved him coming out of Maryland. He is one of those players that makes a difference. If you go look at his stats in college, he really should have been drafted higher, right? Blazing speed, good size, plays like a dog. So I think with him,
great man-to-man coverage,
and my boy Jack Jones from the mighty Long Beach City, he is going to cause quarterbacks a lot of headaches because he baits.
He's really smart. He's a smart corner.
He plays that game exactly. He's playing with their head. So this is going to be something. We got a D line to put pressure on them at the same time. And then Spillane is in the middle.
The rookies that has been really coming in and doing their thing from what I've heard in training camp. These rookies has coming in. I think it's what's his name? MJ. I'm not going to pronounce. I'm not going to butcher that last name. I'm just
Devonshire.
Yeah,
but also DeCameron Richardson has looked really good.
Yeah, DeCameron Richardson is another one that has been really good in camp as well. So,
Eichenberg.
Eichenberg. Even one thing about Ohio State linebackers, they're good. They come into the NFL, and Ohio State linebackers are good. We can't say the same for quarterbacks, but we can say that for linebackers. We can say that for the defensive side of the ball for Ohio State. They always have good corners come out, good linebackers, and good defensive linemen. On all three levels. It never fails with that. So Eichenberg, I definitely can see that.
Corners. We'll talk about the corners, but
I mean, not all their corners besides Gary and Conley, besides him. No, because he was garbage.
He just got cut from the Cowboys too.
I'm surprised he's still in the league at this point.
He wasn't. Remember, he was out for like 2 years, and then the Cowboys picked him up in the offseason, and then they ultimately let him go. I want to say it was like last week or maybe 2 weeks ago.
I mean, it's the Cowboys. We're not surprised about this. It's the Cowboys at this point. But I mean, Black, how you feel? Because I know you down there shaking your head many a times in this talk.
I heard something about CTE. If y'all comparing this defense with the Rich Gannon and them defense, the 2016, ain't that you was talking about them? Oh, Derek Carr year, this defense. Oh, but CTE's, that's for a commitment to excellence. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to that, because I thought y'all was talking about something else. Because this defense right here, right? It's kind of like I love to watch y'all just bask in it. It just feels good because it's the energy. You know what I'm saying? I love it. And I'm like, well, when we compare it, because when you started asking the question, I started going through that in my mind. I didn't know you was going to end up there, but I was like, okay, those defenses, the issues that those defense did not have that we're going to have with this defense is the lack of offense. Because when you lack your offense, you're going to put your defense in situations like we used to do, put our defense in situations. And I kind of feel like, well, we would be a middle tier defense, but because of the offense deficiency, it's going to make us look not as good as we actually are. So it's going to look like we took a step back this year, but it's just because of our offense. So I don't know. When I say who's our leader on defense outside of Max Crosby,
Lane.
When I say it concerns me, I'm concerned like who's gonna be those guys. And I started to see a couple players pop out, but I don't like to judge it off 1 year or 2 years. I kind of gotta see a trend. But I do like the way we're going with our defense for sure. We got a defensive minded coach, so that's gonna help. If we can get our quarterback situation stabilized, then I think then our defense will be able to flourish. But I just think we're going to put our defense in too many situations.
Black, that's a good point.
And let me just piggyback off that, because I do agree with you there. And if you look at it from last year, where we had so many turnovers and the offense couldn't do nothing with it. So I understand where you're coming from there, because it was a lot of games where our defense, like the Minnesota Viking game, that tells it itself. 3-0. 3-0, where our offense could not score a point, but our defense only allowed 3 points that game, and we lost that game. So I completely understand. It's really the uncertainty of the offense, because you notice after coordinator after coordinator after coach, different quarterbacks, stuff of that nature, is a lot of uncertainty at the offense. So I definitely agree with you there, but I feel like this defense is still going to get us the ball as many times as we can, but at the same time, our offense is going to have to score points to give our defense a break. It's just going to have to happen.
Yeah, and to your point, Black, about the offense, you're absolutely correct, because that year that Derek Carr was supposed to win the MVP and we were supposed to go to the Super Bowl, I think the Raiders were a top 3 offense that year. The year 2002, when we did go to the Super Bowl and Rich Gannon won the MVP, remember we had Jerry Rice and Tim Brown outside at receiver, and that offense was I think was a top 3 offense as well. So you make a great point when you say that.
They might have been number 1 offense. Like
they were number 1 in scoring.
Them years.
Yeah, number 1 in scoring, but I'm talking in terms, and that's the one that matters, of course, the most. But you know, I was thinking in terms of yards. Yeah.
Okay. But like you're saying though, the offense was up there.
So yeah. All right, this is my question for you guys: is the offense going to be better this year than it was last year?
Is uncertainty at this point, because we just don't know. We just don't know.
Worse?
I know.
Worse?
Me personally, I'm being a little bit optimistic, because people, and I'm gonna be honest, people out there is not giving Zeus a chance, and I don't understand why. They're not giving Zeus a chance. And the thing about it is,
that was my point.
I'm people.
Zeus is a power running back. He's not an outside runner. That's why he was not successful last year. When you give him between those 1, 2, 3, and 4 holes, he will dominate you. If you watched him at Georgia, that's the best. He ran between those 4 holes, and he was great at it. Only problem with him at Georgia, he was at a running back by committee. Now he's not really with. He's with a running back by committee now, but those first and second downs, he could give you 5 yards a carry. He can. He can, and he's going to stay healthy. But it's all going to be uncertainty. I understand people want to talk about how great Josh Jacobs was, but Zamir White did not get a chance to shine with the Raiders because of Josh Jacobs. And now this is going to be his year to shine.
Well, he didn't get a chance to shine because of Josh McDaniels.
No, Josh, even before that, Josh Jacobs was just taking all the snaps. You really saw Zamir White on the field.
How many yards Zamir White going to have this year? Over 800?
Yes.
He gonna have 1,000?
Yes.
I wouldn't.
Who's saying yes so I can get this right at the beginning of the year? You said 1,000?
Yes.
It's on tape. You got it. It's on tape. Don't worry about it.
Draft him.
Can I?
Or come to my fantasy league.
Can I be honest? Can I be honest with you here? Does it really matter if they get 1,000 yards?
Yeah.
Does it really matter? It don't matter.
Know why it
because
matters?
you know why it don't matter? Because it's running backs out here that don't get 1,000 yards that don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but we're not talking about other things. We're talking about the Raiders.
We're talking about the Raiders.
See, the thing about it, we become
when was the last time we had 1,000-yard back before Josh Jacobs?
Right, and our offense sucked. Like what I'm saying is, in order for our offense to have any kind of really,
our offense sucked in 2016. I don't think so, and we didn't have Josh Jacobs in 2016.
No.
Who?
We had damn near probably the top offense without Josh Jacobs and without a 1,000-yard runner.
It was Latavius Murray, and he ran for like 900, but we had another running back. We had another running back. I mean, but the team as a whole was a decent rushing team. We don't
have no depth. We don't have no known depth, and like I mean, like I don't really know. Like I'm gonna take your word about Zamir White, right? And if he is that guy that's running in between these gaps like this and not to the outside, what that tells me is week 12, he's gonna be so banged up, it's gonna be an issue because we're gonna use him a lot more than he's used to.
I don't think so.
Take him a year to get acclimated to the
I don't
carries.
think so.
Because if you're not used to getting the carries, then that's you're gonna find out at the end of the year, kind of like how you should kind of approach it. So next year, I could see him being, you know what I'm saying, somebody to be on the radar. But right now, we need some man. We don't even have a quarter. We don't have a running back that we could just get a ball to and be like, all right, we don't know what we're doing, but we can run it until we figure it out, throw it to the tight ends. But we don't even have that. We really have an offense by committee right now.
Yeah.
But is that necessarily a bad thing, though, with the running backs?
It's not a bad thing. Who's our leader of the offense?
Devontae Adams.
Well, that's bad if your wide receiver is the leader of the offense.
No, not necessarily. Not in this league. So Devontae, it's a passing league. Devontae is the leader of the offense because he's just the most developed and, you know,
he's the captain. He's the captain.
The running back position. Yeah, he's a captain. Zamir is called Zeus for a reason. He's not going to break down. He's going to break other people down. That's what he does. Have you seen pictures of him? He looks like a Ninja Turtle. Like he has a shell on. That's his back muscles. Okay, like he's ready. He's going to run a bunch of people over. He's going to get his yards. He's going to get his carries. Right. He's going to grind defenses down. He made the Kansas City Chiefs quit in that game. They quit. We didn't even have to throw the ball. We just kept giving it to him. They quit. Okay, they quit because he was running them over too much. That's why. So,
and I feel like people feel
do
like
his thing, and people are sleeping because they think that this is going to be an offense that puts it on the quarterback. We're going to run the football.
Yeah. I feel like this.
We're going to possess the football. That's the part.
Yeah, I feel like this. People underestimate Zeus because he comes from a running back type of college in Georgia. And you notice every Georgia running back in the last 5 years that came out was running back by committee. They didn't get their actual shine like other colleges does.
Bro,
So the last person you saw that actually do that was Todd Gurley. That was the only probably last running back you saw at Georgia that actually ran the ball on 1, 2, and first, second, and third downs.
But look at it like this though, y'all.
But I feel like this though. I'm just going to finish up. When it comes to Zamir White, right? It really is going to depend on how Luke Getsy uses him. Because if you look at Luke Getsy with running backs in Chicago, when you look at it when he was in Green Bay, he has pass catching running backs outside of just having Zeus. Amir Abdullah is a pass catching running back. People don't give him his credit because of the fact that so many injuries that he had in his career. But when it comes to third down situations, when he had when Luke Getsy had Khalil Herbert in Chicago, you see Khalil Herbert had a good year under Luke Getsy's offense as a running back. So and you've seen it with Tariq Cohen in Chicago as well, where you see pass catching running backs. Yeah, it's going to be running backs by committee, but we are in a league where it's running backs by committee. It's not just one running back anymore that's taking first, second, and third downs. You just don't see that anymore. If you see that, only person you probably see that out of is CMC, because CMC can do both.
And
we are in a passing league where running backs going to have to catch the ball.
And look at it like this too, y'all, is that like we saying these things about Zeus and running back by committee, this, that, and the third. Ain't that what we just had with Josh Jacobs? Because how fresh he was when he came out of Alabama.
No, see, when y'all when I'm not in the NFL, you can't have one back. Like that's a given now. Like if you got a running back that could be in there first, second, and third down, that's a blessing. What I'm saying about the running back by committee or offense by committee is we're going to be plugging in pieces all year like this. Like I'm telling you, the stability of our offense is going to be all over the place. I mean, like I hate to say it,
I disagree.
Like, even with Jimmy Garoppolo's offense or whatever, we still knew what our identity was. We just knew it wasn't Garoppolo. Like we knew that. Like our offense this year, we don't really know who our offense is. The reason why our leader on offense is Devontae Adams is because that's by default, because he's the best player on offense. Like, if your wide receiver is legit your leader and it ain't your running back or your quarterback or your center or your left tackle or something, like, that's an issue. Like, that's an issue. And when I say issue, I don't mean like level 8, 9, 10 issue. I'm just saying a thing of concern. Now, to be fair, I don't know. Like I said, week 3 because I don't know what they've been working on. So that's why I don't like to like jump out the window on my thoughts about what it is. But I'm just talking in general, just knowing how the Raiders get down. I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful for these guys. Trust me, I want them to do well. But I just want to know what is our identity, and if we base it on something that we don't know to be proven yet, then I can't go all in on it yet. I can't.
I get that, but let me ask y'all this though. Because the original question was, do we think our offense is going to be better? Let me ask y'all this: do we feel like Aiden or Gardner is better than Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yes. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo stinks. He's garbage. Sorry.
I'm the number one. Minshew is better. I'm the number one person. I knew that wasn't going to work, but let me tell you why Aiden is not better than Garoppolo, just because of experience. Like
last year,
we know,
but he's not better than Gardner. He's not better than Gardner.
And Gardner Minshew, like, no, man, come on. Like that.
Gardner Minshew has won games in his league, and Jimmy Garoppolo, only reason why Jimmy Garoppolo won games in his league because he was with the Patriots and the 49ers.
I agree with you, but winning is winning though sometimes, and like that's a culture like thing. So like I would put like Minshew Pishu right here, and I would put your boy Garoppolo like right there.
No way.
But the average quarterback is probably like right here.
No. I'm gonna tell you the reason why you're wrong. The number one reason why you're wrong, Black, and I love you, dog. And this is not a civil war, I promise. Because we Raider fans. But Jimmy Garoppolo's number one problem was the fact that he couldn't stay on the field.
Facts. I agree with that. But
How
you
many
think you
times
think
have we
Bronson
saw Garoppolo
Minshew
throw?
or what Gardner
When it
Minshew
comes
is
to-
going to stay on the field all year? I promise you, him and Connor won't be playing by week 13.
Let me just say this. I understand Gardner Minshew has a weak arm. I get that. I understand that. But when it comes to being a mobile quarterback that could get away from defensive lines and stuff of that nature and actually make a play, Gardner Minshew is better than Jimmy Garoppolo 10 times. Let's just be realistic there. Now, another thing with Gardner Minshew, he has won games when it mattered. He gets the ball to wide receivers when it mattered. We had Jimmy Garoppolo in the game, how many times he overthrew a wide open Devontae Adams and a Jacoby Myers?
No, but you got but also Josh McDaniels had niggas running route combinations with each other at the end of the game. Josh McDaniels was calling terrible games. Terrible games. And by no way am I apologizing to Garoppolo. But what I'm saying is this though. He has won games, regardless of how we like how he won them. Minshew,
Minshew has better. Minshew has a better winning percentage.
No, I'm not even going off no winning percentage. I'm just saying, like, he's been around winning culture. There's something to be said to be around winning culture. That's why Garoppolo was able to get Gardner Minshew to the Jacksonville Jaguars to the culture, not because of his athleticism.
Like, are we not going to mistake it before Trevor Lawrence got to Jacksonville that he took the Jacksonville Jaguars to the playoffs? Are we not going to talk about that?
Say that again.
Yeah.
Are we not going to talk about how Gardner Minshew took the Jacksonville Jaguars that doesn't have a culture to the playoffs before Trevor Lawrence got there? Are we not going to talk about that?
Okay, and so where did he go after that?
Oh, so they tanked purposely so they could get Trevor Lawrence, and then they traded
and won games in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He went to Indianapolis and won games in Indianapolis, almost made it to the playoffs last year due to their defense screwing them over.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not saying he chopped liver. What I'm saying is that he ain't proven as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Like, to me.
You think Garoppolo is?
Garoppolo is, like, by default, like, the nigga played like games. He legit played games. Like, he even played with the Niners. He just ended up in great situations. That's why I knew when he came to the Raiders it wasn't going to work, because our situation wasn't great for him. Like he was one of the quarterbacks. If you put him in a certain environment, he'll be fine.
Any quarterback, bro. It could be any quarterback. It could be any four of us at quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers that we can succeed.
Yeah, I would have a ring.
I would have a ring right now as a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers.
They're both ass. They both ass. Have y'all seen the top 10 quarterback list?
I'm not saying that he's a top tier quarterback. I understand that. This is the thing about certain Raiders fans, and I'm saying this in general. People think that we need an elite quarterback to win. We don't need. I'm telling you.
No, I'm not saying that. What I was saying about the top 10 list is this. First of all, that list is ass. Like, the quarterbacks that's on there, they had Trevor Lawrence like number 1 or something like that. So that tells me that the levels of quarterbacks is not that good in the NFL. So if Minshew is not on that list or close to that list, y'all really think he that good? Like I said, I like him, but he's a C+ quarterback for real.
I think. Hold on, y'all. Let's
say about Gannon.
Let's lower the temperature. Lower the temperature. I don't think what we're saying is that we know that Gardner Minshew is not a franchise quarterback.
Right.
But what we are saying is he has. If you look at the tape, and if you look at and when it matters the most, outside of Jimmy Garoppolo was on the coattails of a defense that took him to the Super Bowl. But when the time mattered the most, and who was it? It was I think it was Emmanuel Sanders in the Super Bowl against Kansas City, the first one. When he overthrew him, and that was the difference between a $40 million a year quarterback and a $25 million a year quarterback. I have 100% more confidence in that Gardner Minshew could make that throw more so than Jimmy Garoppolo could in his best dream. You know why? Because
that's a difference. You're talking about a scenario. Like I would pick Gardner Minshew in any scenario against fucking your boy. But if I was starting a franchise today and I had to pick between them two, and we only had one season, and they had equal talent on both sides of the ball, that's a 50-50 to me. I'm sorry.
Please don't be a GM for my team.
Y'all acting like Gardner Minshew is like really like this. Well, if Gardner Minshew was like that, then why is he having a quarterback battle with Aiden O'Connell? He should be the clear starter then.
What we're saying is this: we're not saying that he's a top tier quarterback, but you're putting Jimmy Garoppolo on a pedestal like this man did something in the NFL. He has not done shit.
I just said the average quarterback is here. We arguing two trash can garbage and two trash can quarterbacks. Now Minshew,
you tell me
he right there. You see right there. If he have a good year this year, then he'll pop out. Brady, right? But he ain't like that
outside of Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, you tell me a mid-tier or top tier quarterback that won the Super Bowl. Name one outside of Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady.
Say that again.
Outside of Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, you tell me a mid-tier or a top-tier quarterback that won the Super Bowl.
All right, let's just go down the list of the last 20 Super Bowls in. Like
Russell Wilson.
Hey, none of them ain't fucking come on, man. Like,
no, I think. Listen. Hold up. Listen, we're not saying that Gardner Minshew is all that. Right, we're not saying
what we have,
but what we are saying is that Jimmy Garoppolo is about that much of that. That's what we're saying.
I would agree.
So we're really
Jimmy Garoppolo didn't know the plays. He didn't even read his playbook.
But we're really talking about the same thing, though.
But we're not. We're talking about a quarterback that, he's been in the league since 2019, right? So those first 2 years with Jacksonville, legit. 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's pretty good. Like, for real. 16-5 the next year. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty good, especially coming into the league when as a quarterback, usually year 3 is where you make your turnaround. Year 4, sometimes if you're a little late. But then you go to Philly in 2 seasons, then last year you played Indy, and now you out of there. So now you already on your 4th team already, right? So for me, it's hard for me to calibrate what kind of quarterback he is. Now, I see that he has enough talent. I see that he has enough talent to be a starting quarterback. I can say that. I can't say that about Aiden O'Connell, but I can't put Minshew on the totem pole yet. Until I see him play like this year.
Hold up. Jimmy Garoppolo. Hold up. Jimmy Garoppolo.
No shit. That's what. It's kind of like breaking up.
Why y'all comparing him to Jimmy Garoppolo though? Stop. That's not a comparison.
Because we're saying we're better than last year. That was the question.
The 2 years. The 2 years that he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, he came in as a backup because Jalen Hurts was hurt. He wasn't a starting quarterback, but the year that he was with Indianapolis, he had a 62.2 completion percentage, almost 3,400 yards, and 9 interceptions with an 84.6 pass rating. That is a good quarterback in the NFL that you can win games with. You don't need to be on 4,000.
So you base that off.
These are never offenses designed for him. He's never had an offense designed around him. He just comes in playing whatever they have.
So why isn't he the clear starter then over Aiden O'Connell?
Because he doesn't have a strong arm. And everybody says he doesn't have a strong arm. He can't do it. And then we get into discussions like this.
Still have to, as a coach, you still have to go in and evaluate what you have. Aiden O'Connell didn't. He won the job by default. For real, he won the job by default because Garoppolo was just trash. Everybody was calling for Garoppolo's head. We all know that. We all know that. So when it comes down to AOC had to come in and develop every single week to get better as a rookie quarterback.
Is he a middle tier quarterback? Aiden O'Connell?
We can't determine that because he only came in for a half
based
a year.
on his rookie season. Based
You
on his
can't
rookie
determine
season,
it, right?
He had one of the better rookie seasons for rookie quarterback. At this point, his trajectory looks something better than a mediocre quarterback, as like a plus starter, based on how he played last year. But we don't know until we see more.
Raider Paul, we don't think that AOC is the because he says because everyone's delusional thinking AOC is the answer and he's just in the way. I disagree with that. I don't think AOC is a bad quarterback. I'm not saying that we thinking that AOC is the answer because I don't think he is the answer. He's still a young quarterback in this league. You still have to develop him. He still has to get better year after year after year. I understand you're not going to get a CJ Stroud out of AOC. You're not going to get those type of equipment. He came from the University of Purdue where it was a pro-style offense. It was. He came from Purdue don't really produce a lot of great quarterbacks outside of Drew Brees, and then it's Aiden O'Connell. He did help us beat the Chiefs, yes, but our running game really helped us. But what I'm saying to you is this: it's a quarterback competition because as a coach, and me being a former coach myself, me being a former coach myself, I'm not coming in as a brand new coach and just throwing Aiden O'Connell out there. Oh, he's the number one quarterback. I'm not doing that because in training camp, everybody's job is on the line. I don't care if you're an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, a wide receiver. I don't care if you're the best wide receiver in the league. You still have to fight for your job. That's just my personal.
Stop it. You ain't gonna do that to Devontae Adams. You ain't gonna do that to even
It's football. I'm not. It's football.
You think if Devontae was shit in the bed in practice, they wouldn't bench him? He was dropping balls and but he's not though, because he's Devontae Adams.
It's just a football standard. It's a football standard. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to evaluation,
I don't understand. Like y'all can't put Aiden O'Connell on the y'all can't put him on the totem pole yet, but yet and still y'all can't put him there. But he's still battling with somebody that you know is a starter in the league. But we don't. You can't. You don't know. You can't place them nowhere. Neither one of them.
No, there ain't no.
We don't know yet.
Did we really know that before the season started? Did we really know that Aiden O'Connell was going to start this year and we was going to have Jimmy Garoppolo the whole year? Did we know that going into last year? We did not know Aiden O'Connell was going to play at all last year.
I did.
I did.
You go to Business Decision Sports to look last year. I tell you all the time, like, first of all, ain't no quarterback gonna play for the Raiders and play all the games.
Derek Carr did for 9 years. I'm confused.
I'm talking about especially these new quarterbacks that we getting. But even Derek Carr was running for his life every year. Like Derek Carr was special. That's not something you see all the time, especially in a Raider uniform. That don't get hurt or play hurt. Like, but that's neither here nor there. It's cool. We're going to let it play out because I'm saying it on this, right? I'm saying it this year, like, neither one of them is not because I think bad things about them. It's just because they're just not that yet. They're not that yet. Now, can I be wrong and Gardner Minshew play 14, 15 games? Yeah, we won't know until next year because him and Aiden O'Connell really going to be splitting time this year. That's what's going to happen.
No, they're going to pick one. Not with this head coach.
It's not going to be both quarterbacks.
He will decide who the starter is, and he will ride with that person until the wheels fall off.
Right.
He's not going to jerk it back and forth. That's not his personality. He stands on business. So he's going to make his decision, and that's going to be the guy.
Yeah, the one that gives us the best chance to win is Gardner Minshew.
And as of right now,
I would hope
about it when it comes to the quarterbacks, both of them are not. From what I'm hearing, that both of them are not doing too well because our defense is playing well. But we don't have our starting offensive line out there either. But at the end of the day, this is training camp. This is where you actually fix your woes and fix things up before the season starts. This is why you have your preseason games. Yes, Aiden O'Connell probably start in week 1 of the preseason. Doesn't mean he's going to start week 1 of the regular season. We just don't know. This is a evaluation of training camp. All of this is evaluation for each and every player, no matter if you're Devontae Adams or not. Nobody's bigger than the Shield.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of kind of misjudgment as far as how good these quarterbacks are, and it's coming from everywhere. I see it in the media too. So you're not the only one there, Black. But
very spirited conversation.
Yeah, Minshew is better than people give him credit for. If he was our quarterback last year, we make the playoffs. Okay. Now, Aiden hopefully caught up to him over the offseason, having an actual offseason with an offense that he could study and then use rather than just like something that was written on the back of a napkin by a 12-year-old. So having that offseason.
On the back of a napkin, that sounds like annexation of Puerto Rico.
Okay, it was like a cereal box, whatever. Anyway, so we have an actual offense now that he can study, learn, go through training camp, make mistakes, all that good stuff. So he'll improve too. He's gonna be better than he was last year.
Have chemistry with his receivers
last year. Yeah, have chemistry with the first team offense and all that good stuff. Yeah, but Minshew's better than anything we tried out last year. If he was our quarterback last year, we're a playoff team. Okay, so this year our defense will be better. Minshew is going to be himself, but with an offense that actually fits him. This is an offense that actually fits Minshew. So we'll see what happens. I mean, he's not running like Jalen Hurts' offense. It's crazy because they're not the same player.
I would agree with that, and we had Josh Jacobs still. Like I would agree with that.
Running backs are replaceable, man. Running backs are so replaceable, bro. It's a running back.
No, I don't. No, I don't think he's Josh Dobbs. Minshew, I don't think he's Josh Dobbs. I think he's way better than Josh Dobbs. I mean, like way better than him. So I don't think that he's that. And no, they can't take my Raider card for one. They have to come to Oakland and come get it. Two, I think I've been a Raider fan longer than all these guys. So that's gonna be a tough one.
Man, we would never take your Raider card, man.
I mean, but they could jump me collectively. No. Mike can take it though.
This is a sibling fight.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
That's all it is.
A real Raider fan.
It's just a sibling fight. That's just like Willie said, man. It's just a sibling fight, right? I wanted to throw this out here because this is like the unofficial depth chart for the preseason game for the game against the Minnesota Vikings. And right now Aiden O'Connell is going to start. He's going to start the game, but we are going to see Gardner Minshew. As of right now, you see when it comes to, I don't know if y'all can see this. I don't know if y'all need me to zoom it up a little bit more. But basically, you see Devontae Adams there. You see Keelan Dawson's. You see Christian Wilkerson, another guy that was really good. Jalen Guyton is on his depth chart. Ramel Keaton. Oh, Tennessee Volunteer all day, baby. Yes. I love the way he's playing in training camp right now. When you're talking about somebody that's fast and that can get yards after the catch, that is your guy. Tall too. But if you see this offensive line, that's what I really wanted to look at. Colton Miller's on here, Cody Whitehair, Andre James, Dylan Parham, Thayer Munter. And then you see, Ardris Pete, Jackson Power Johnson, Ben Brown, Jordan Meredith, DJ Glaze, Harrison Bryant, as far as tight ends, Zach Gentry, wide receivers, Trey Tucker. Defensively, I mean, what do y'all see on this depth chart that what is what is a few people on this depth chart that y'all see right now that you're looking forward to seeing, excited to see for going into week 1 of this preseason game against the Minnesota Vikings?
Yo, let me shout out to Jalen Guyton, man, because he's got that speed factor, and I know Telesco loves him. Shout out to his mom, Brandy Guyton. We do a show called The Real Moms of the Shield. Brandy Guyton, of course, mom of Jalen, and Jennifer Coney Shepard, mom of Rashawn Gary of the Green Bay Packers. She is over the moon excited. He was activated off the PUP list. I think it was yesterday.
Nice.
And I think he's going to be, with Trey Tucker, And him with that speed, that's some speed right there. That is a lot of speed. I'm looking forward to seeing. And he used to kill the Raiders when he was with the Chargers too, by the way. I'm looking forward to that kid getting out there and doing what he does.
Talented.
I'm gonna go quarterback because I understand we want to see Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, but I really want to see what Anthony Brown Jr. does in this game. I've been hearing a lot of talk about Anthony Brown Jr. In training camp, so that's gonna be a very interesting, exciting one that I want to see at the quarterback position. I want to see, another. I'm gonna be biased. Another Tennessee Vol, Matthew Butler. I want to see how he improved from last year. Him and Byron Young. I definitely want to see them too. It's very interesting. I definitely, of course, Tommy Eichenberg and most of the rookies I really want to see. But Anthony Brown Jr. is the one for me. And of course, I want to see Ramel Keaton, see if they could do a connection where they have Anthony Brown Jr. and him in at the same time. That would be very interesting to watch because I know most of the starters is not really going to play here. Of course, you still have Cecile McCormick there. Still got Britton Brown has been there for a couple years at the running back position. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Dylan, number 23. I heard a lot about. I learned a lot about. I heard a lot about him in camp as well. So hopefully I get to see a few of those ones, but the main one I'm excited for is Anthony Brown Jr. I know he's going to get some time, and I want to see Ramel Keaton offensively. Defense, I want to see Byron Young and Matthew Butler in their defensive tackles. And as far as linebackers, Tommy Eichenberg, Amari Burney, I want to see how he progressed from last year, coming out of Florida. So he's another one. I'm not really looking too forward to the starters. I'm really looking forward more to the rookies than anything.
Yeah. For me, I mean, on offense, I'm excited to see Brock Bowers and how they use him. So I think there's going to be a lot of versatility, some cool stuff coming out of there. I want to see some of the undrafted guys on offense and how they play, like Tulu Griffin. I'm really excited to see what happens with him. I think he can make some plays on special teams too, not just on offense. I want to see Dylan Laube, that he's I think got a chance to steal that job away from Amir Abdullah. I love Amir. He's made some clutch plays for us and stuff like that. But I mean, Laube is just overall more talented, and so going to be interesting to see what he looks like in preseason. On defense, my boy Jack Jones, just because he's the president. But then I want to see some of the depth pieces and how they blossom. I'm like some no-name guys like Ellerson Smith and Charles Snowden, who are like extremely athletic players, who Coach Pierce picked, handpicked out of off of other people's rosters last year when no one was paying attention. And these guys are both 6'5", 270-ish. Raw talent that really never kind of developed. Ellison Smith was something that I was watching when he got drafted. So those players are really interesting. I want to see, Janarius Robinson is still on the team for a reason. I thought he may not make the team after what he did, but he's still here. So that tells me something. I want to see what happens there. So it's, Ron Stone Jr. We got a lot of really athletic defensive ends, and I'm just kind of see what the pass rushers look like.
Willie, is there anyone that you want to see?
Already went.
Oh, did you? Listen, my mind is all over the place. Don't mind me. Black, are you looking? Are you actually watching the preseason games this weekend?
I am for sure. I am. This is who I'm looking. Got my eye on under the microscope. Jack Jones. I got Nate Hobbs. So the thing about it is, like, our defense is, I think we come and go with our secondary. I kind of think that's how we kind of are, right? So when our secondary plays solid, then it seems like our defense is solid. I mean, because Max could do what he does or whatever and the line can kind of get off. But if our secondary can hold that back end, then it's good. So I'm literally looking for that to see if we can keep that consistency, and I expect it. And they coming in with that bounce, like that's what they're gonna do, and I like that, you know. So I'm looking forward for that. Now, what I'm looking for on the other side of the ball, I'm looking for these running backs y'all talking about. I ain't saying they're not gonna be cool. What I'm saying to y'all is I don't think they're gonna be able to give us that punch that we gonna need. Like but like I said, I don't know though. I don't know. So I reserve myself to be wrong with this, and I hope I am wrong with this, but that's what I got my eye on because I'm just not sure about it.
Now, Britton Brown's been around for a couple of years. I think he came out around, I think we drafted him the same year as Zeus, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And Britton Brown, he's been hurt he's been messed up with injuries. It just never fails, or he's always been a healthy scratch on the roster. But if you ever go back and look at him when he played at UCLA, he was really good coming out of UCLA. So if you definitely want to go look at that, Sincere McCormick was definitely highly on him last year. I think he made it to the practice squad. I think he suited up a few times last year. Amir Abdullah, I remember Amir Abdullah when he was back in Detroit, when he was a great pass catching third down type of back. You know, injuries kind of killed him, but he's been healthy since he's been with the Las Vegas Raiders. So I like you said, I'm looking forward to it too. I'm looking forward to see Alexander Madison. I think he's another one that came over from Minnesota. I think he's going to be. He was a backup to Dalvin Cook in Minnesota when Dalvin Cook was there, and he did put up some numbers. He's definitely a red zone type of guy. That when it comes down to it. If Zeus not in there, and they're going to put Madison in there offensively, they're going to put him in there. If they don't put Zeus in there, depending on the scheme, depending on the situation. But I did like that pickup at the running back position. But overall, you know, linebackers, of course, you know, we might not see any of our prime linebackers like Devon Diablo or Robert Spillane. We just never know. They didn't put everything, just the unofficial depth chart as of right now. They didn't put the official depth chart, but at the end of the day, I think these players has been pretty impressive overall, like especially the rookies. They've been pretty impressive. There's been good things about them. So it's going to be interesting to watch, though. It's definitely going to be interesting to watch. Yeah. So any final thoughts before we head out of here, and knowing that we still have or y'all want to make a quick prediction for the Vikings game on Saturday, which I'll be doing on this channel. I'll be doing the live play-by-play commentary on this channel on Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So any quick predictions on that before we head out?
I don't do predictions in preseason games.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say a score. Let's say this.
Yeah, like a score or something. Like, you know,
my prediction is that people will be more confident in our offense after this than they were going in. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna go with like a little preview score. Because, you know, preseason, it could be pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie, Chicago looked good in a Hall of Fame game, you know. So it was. I had Houston winning. I picked Houston to win that game, but you know, I'm taking the Raiders to win. It's gonna be like a 21-17 type thing, you know, because you got to think about it. It's not going to be the starters in there the whole game. You know, so you're going to have a lot of young players in there. You're going to see a lot of miscues, but it's going to be good to see evaluation of these young players and see where they can, you know, fix going into, you know, next week's preseason game. So
yeah. Shout out to Trey Taylor and Wu Governor, who will be playing, and we're nice enough to do interviews. But yeah, they're I'm looking at them too. Those young guys, they'll get some time, and we get to see JJ Magic McCarthy probably, huh?
Yeah, we'll probably see JJ McCarthy, you know, in this game because, you know, they got Sam Darnold starting according to the unofficial depth chart.
Yeah,
I'd rather have our situation than that situation. That's for sure.
And they just drafted one too.
If the Raiders ever thought about getting a Sam Darnold, just just throw the towel in. Sam Darnold. I just throw the towel in on Sam Darnold. And knowing that Raidernation Hotspot, you are a USC guy. So
yeah, I don't argue with you right now. I can't argue with you.
I just wanted to make sure, because I know, like, when it comes to college football, when it comes to USC and Tennessee, I have nowhere to talk.
Sam is not. He's okay. He just, if he just had a little more arm strength and a little more speed, he kind of plays like he thinks he's Josh Allen.
So, quick question for you, Raidernation Hotspot: do you think Sam Darnold came out too early?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. We're on the same page here then. Okay. So that's going to tally up the first week of Nothing Podcast. Great conversations, great debates, friendly stuff. It ain't nothing personal. This is what we do over here with the Raiders. It happens.
Oh man, so we're not soft.
It ain't like, it wasn't like yesterday though. But Raidernation Hotspot, let them know where they can find you at on all your social media platforms.
Yeah, come on. You can find me under Raidernation Hotspot at YouTube. Just look for Hot Beavers. Raidernation Hotspot is everywhere on social, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, just come holla at me. I love to interact with the fans, especially in the comments. If you're gonna come at me though, come right, because I will tell you the truth. So yeah, it's fun though. We have a good time. Keep it hot, keep it loose. We laugh and joke, and as you can tell. So yeah. Subscribe.
Facts. Come on, Willie. Come on, OG, the oldest man on the panel.
Yo, man, this has been so spirited, and what a way to kick off this new project. I hope our Raiders generate that same excitement for us going forward. You can catch me on Twitter, SHKBKMEDIAGRP, the Shakeback Media Group. You can catch me on Instagram, Shakeback Media Group, all spelled out. TikTok, SBMG11. Facebook, the Facebook is the Shakeback Media Group. Yeah, let's do this, man.
Black, awesome. I know you're not really big on social media like that, but
y'all can find me right here. This is where y'all find me.
Catch him at the spot. That's right, at the house.
That's where y'all find me.
We're gonna be at the Raiders practice on the 20th, and so that'll be fun. Me and Raider D, and gave some tickets away. So we got some cool people coming with us.
Nice.
Pops, my dad will be there. He's pretty famous on our channel for being cooler than me somehow. So yeah.
Shout out to you.
Like Hotspot is just like, he's just so calm and collective. But when you see his face expressions, it's like, yeah, he's about to old, like, he's like an OG, a young OG, if it makes sense,
Old soul OG.
Right.
I've been an old man my whole life, man. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
There you go.
I get off my lawn.
Hey, that's funny on so many levels.
Get your hand out of my pocket.
That's right.
Man, I have childhood trauma from fighting people from walking on my lawn.
For real.
Like that was legit the only time I could fight somebody without getting in trouble or being hit first. It was like because somebody's stepping on the lawn. Like
that's good grass.
Right. But you can follow Nothing But Raider Podcast on all social media platforms. NBR Pod 1 on Twitter, NBR Pod 1 on Instagram. I think I'm going to make this an audio podcast as well. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, stuff of that nature. I am going to make this an audio podcast on Nothing But Raider Podcast. I still have it. I just got to log into it and just make it a weekly audio podcast.
Nice.
And, I'm gonna be here back. I'm gonna be back here on Saturday doing the play-by-play reactions for the preseason game, because I'll do the preseason games every year. I do all the games on here. If I'm not at the games, then I'm actually doing the games at home. So yeah, that's basically it. Make sure y'all subscribe to everybody's channel. Subscribe to Nothing But Raider Podcast. Make sure y'all check out all their platforms, all their stuff. Everything that you need to know about it is going to be links in the description. It's going to be links on the community post as well. We appreciate y'all, coming in, being back on here. It was really dope. It was a long time coming. We had our meeting, and then Darian Hopkins Sports Show is a lot for me right now. I do a lot on that channel, and now I'm able to do this and figuring it out. But it's all good though. It's all good though, and we here. And really, I'll probably get you on next Monday too, brother, for Darian Hopkins Sports Show.
Come with it.
Yeah.
But we out of here, y'all. Make sure y'all hit us up on all social medias, man. Any questions that y'all have for next week's show, let us know. Put it in our DMs on our social medias, and we'll talk about it here. But we out. Yes. Comment, like, and subscribe. Peace out, y'all.
I didn't care as much about being respected as I cared from the standpoint of winning about being feared and being imitated. And then respect could come after that.